All I ask is that you hold it down for me, cause you told me you would be my everything. If it's nothing, baby.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Darian, aka LOL Not Darian on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and comment down below what you think about this video. This is going to be another story time. This is going to be the story time about the time I got caught sneaking out. I had no business sneaking out and that is on me. So without further ado, I need to hurry up and tell the story time because Jaylee is about to be on her way soon. So let me hurry up. I was on Facebook one day and there was this boy that we'll call Peter. We'll call him Peter. Why not? Peter was this short, when I say short, I mean short. He was a little old boy. This little black skinned boy. I remember, I think his mom was Mexican, his dad was black. His dad was this big, buff, dark skinned, bald headed man with a deep voice. But for some reason, I cannot remember. No, that's not it. That's his real name, baby. Oh, Peter. For some reason, Peter didn't get none of them genes. He looked like a straight up Hispanic boy, like just straight up. And he was little too. I'm talking like this boy was 4'11". I did all of this for a boy who was 4'11". What is wrong with me? But he was a sweetheart. He was a sweetheart. I met him on Facebook. He didn't go to my school. He went to a different school. He went to a different school, not even in my area. Like he went to a different school in my district, but like my district is honestly kind of big a little bit. So he literally went to a different school on like the other side of the district. Like this boy was like, I think a 20, maybe 25-minute drive from me, but his dad lived on my side of town. His dad lived like 10 minutes up the street from me, a 10-minute drive up the street from me. So he and I started texting and talking and everything. Like, you know, it was just one of those things where like we were just mutuals between like, you know, other people that like he probably went to elementary school with, went to my middle school, and so they were friends on Facebook, and so I added, or you know, somebody added somebody. I don't know if I added him. I used to just be adding anybody on fucking Facebook back then. Like, you know, back during those times, like it didn't really care. It didn't really matter if you knew them. Like if somebody you knew them, and sometimes not even then, if they were like cute enough, you still like follow them or whatever, like friend them. Peter, I keep wanting to say this boy real name. Oh my God. Peter had like, you know, hit me up. He and I started like messaging on Facebook back and forth, and then we even started texting at some point, getting on the phone at some point. And I remember what got me was that even though he didn't get none of his genes from his daddy, he got that voice. He got that voice. That boy had a deep ass voice still to this day. It's so crazy because I've ran into him maybe like 5 times in the past 3 years, which like doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot when like you literally never run into anybody from middle school like ever again after you like. I honestly there's not many people that I run into from middle school unless I went to high school with them, and even then I barely run into people from high school. I usually run into them like downtown, not even in my area. But like Peter, I'd be running to him at the mall all the fucking time, all the time. But anyway, so he and I were like texting, talking on the phone, all that. And he was like, I really, really, really would like to see you. And this was before I was old enough to have a boyfriend. So I was like, okay, well, I don't know if my mom's gonna allow that. But like maybe we can figure something out. And he was like, okay. So we were talking, trying to figure it out. And I remember he told me like, you know, where do you stay? And I told him my neighborhood. Like my neighborhood, it's a pretty, there are just neighborhoods in my district that are just really well known because they're either huge or a lot of known people are from that neighborhood. In my case, my neighborhood is just fucking large, like gigantic. And so when I say my neighborhood, because I live in the suburbs, obviously. So when I say my neighborhood, people automatically know if they're from this area, right? So I told him what my neighborhood was, and he was like, oh shit, I live like 10 minutes up the street, or my dad lives 10 minutes up the street from there, and I go to my dad's house on the weekends, every weekend. And I was like, oh, for real? Like, where? And he told me, like, the general area. Like, he told me, like, what school his dad lived by. And I was like, oh, shit. bet, like maybe you can like pull up or something, and like we could just walk around my neighborhood and like talk and da da da, right? And so he was like, okay, cool, cool. What I don't understand, because I'm literally just now thinking about it, I don't understand why he couldn't pull up during the daytime. Because like we weren't gonna be on that type of time. Like y'all already know I was not like down. I was not DTF back then. I was not DTF till I was like 19 years old. Like I was not ready to do the shebang bang with no little boy, nobody's son. So I really don't understand why he would only pull up at night. I don't know if like his dad just was available then or what, because like he also was like, Peter was also not on that type of time. Like he was like, I'm not trying to do none of that with you. Like I just really want to see you. I would love to like hold you, like just hug you, touch you, feel you, like, you know, just like feel that you're real, you know? And I completely understood. Like we were both on the same page as far as like that type of time, right? We literally just wanted to like be able to speak face to face, especially because I didn't get an iPhone until after I graduated. Like my aunt bought me my very first iPhone for my high school graduation. So like I couldn't even FaceTime or anything unless I was at my dad's house. And so it was just like, okay, like we want to see each other face to face. You're gonna have to come over or something. He was only pulling up at night, like after fucking 8 p.m. or something. And one thing about my mom is that this woman can sleep through a fucking tornado. Like when she sleep, nigga, I'm talking knocked, okay? She be knocked the fuck out dead to the world. Like she's one of those moms, you wake her up, she wake up screaming thinking she is about to be like, hey, yo, I used to hate waking her up because I wake her up, what? And I'm like, girl, I'm hungry. Like, I'm hungry. What the fuck? What is wrong with you? So like I knew that she would not wake up, right? Like if I wanted to go and do something, like if I wanted to go out of the house, I knew that this lady would not wake up for nothing, for thing. Okay, so I was like, yeah, you could pull up at night and like, you know, we could just walk around the neighborhood, go to the park. We'll have some privacy at the park. Like not private. I don't think I have to keep disclaiming we were not sexually active, but like, you know, just like being able to sit down somewhere and like just talk, right? He pulled up. I remember the first time he pulled up, this was back when we still had our dog. I literally don't know what happened to him. My mom pissed me off because she used to like I said, this lady, her sleep came before absolutely fucking everything. And so I remember one time, like our dog wanted to go out, like to use the bathroom, but he wasn't leash trained, so we would just like let him out. And like sometimes if I was at home, I would walk with him and just like let him outside, and he would like roam free, but he would make sure to stay close to me. But like my mom, she would just let him out of the house and then close the door. And so she closed the door and went to sleep, and he never came back home. But anyway, this was when we still had him. And he literally, my dog was like the smallest little thing ever. Like he was a Chihuahua. He was a mini pin actually. So he was very territorial. He was very territorial, but at the same time, I get it. Like, you know, I was a stereotypical, he don't bite. I was definitely that type of pet mom. I still kind of am with Bailey, but I do tell people like, she will hiss at you, she will scratch you, she won't bite you. She bites me, but like she won't bite you, but like you might want to back up. But like back then I was like, he's not gonna bite. But like I remember when I walked out, I brought him with me, and I was like, yeah, like come on. And like he came out with me because I was like, I don't know like what this boy might be on, or like, you know, whatever. Even though like I feel like I know him, common sense is telling me I don't really know him like that. So like let me bring my dog with me, because I know if something goes down, my dog is not gonna let up, right? Even if he might be this fucking big, a dog bite is a dog bite still. Peter tells me that he's here or whatever. So I like come outside and I'm like, hey, and he's like, hey, and my dog runs up on him, right? He runs up on him, he's like, and I remember Peter's little ass, tiny itty bitty little ass starts running. He's like, hey, yo, and he like jumps up on somebody's car, on my neighbor's car. I'm like, hey, like relax. You're going to get me in trouble because my people know the neighbors. Like, relax. And he was like, bro, get your dog, get your dog. I'm like, he's fine. He's not. He don't bite. He's fine. He's not gonna do anything to you. But yeah, so here I go talking about some he don't bite, knowing that they are literally the same fucking size. And let me stop getting on his top. He is still tiny to this day, y'all. Like, this man is like, I think he grew 1 inch. He is 5 feet. 5 feet. Who the fuck am I? He is 5 feet, like 5 foot nothing. When I run into him, I'm like, hey, like I'm dragging it like I'm not 5'3", but still, like, you're shorter than me and I'm 5'3". Oh. I'm like he's calm, and I like pick him up. I pick my dog up, and I'm like here, like, just pet him, let him sniff you or whatever. It's okay. So he's like walking up to him. He like lets my dog sniff him or whatever, and immediately after, my dog is like, all right, he cool. And so we start walking, right? And we're just walking around the neighborhood, talking, laughing. We went to the park, and it was just like, it was literally a good ass time, like calm time, nothing happening. That night happened, and after that, it kind of became like a regular occurrence for us for a little bit. So he would come over later on in the night, and like at this time, like my grandma lived with us, and like she had lived with us since I was like in the 4th grade or whatever. So like, but she also dead to the world. Both my mom and my grandma, when they sleep, they be dead to the world, which is why I'm such a light sleeper, because I have a younger sister. And so I needed to be on high alert when shit would happen, because it's like somebody got to wake up when some shit go down, you know? So I remember he and I would like just hang out literally, and just have fun, just talk, literally nothing inappropriate. We would kiss, obviously, because at that time I think I'd already had my first kiss, so like we would kiss, but like it wasn't anything like inappropriate, you know what I mean? Well, one day when he came over, you know, we did our same routine. My dog is like walking with us. We're just walking around my neighborhood, going to the park. It's like late at night, and I remember I think I was like, I think he said like his dad was on his way, like, and his dad also ran on CP time. Even when his dad would say he was on his way, that meant that his dad was like building up the gumption to get out of bed. So I was like, why don't we just like go back to my house, and like we can just like sit on my driveway, like, you know, just look at the stars or whatever, and like just talk until your dad pulls up. And he's like, okay, cool. So I remember we were walking, and this was like back when I loved Jaden Smith. Okay, I loved Jaden Smith down. I actually used to write fan fictions about Jaden Smith. That is that is how much, like, I think there was only one social media site I was not on, and it was fucking MySpace, because my mom we didn't have internet whenever MySpace was a thing, so I went straight to Facebook. But like, you could ask me probably about any fucking social media site or any like niche 2010 social media site, I was probably on it. Quote V, most people don't even know about Quote V, bitch. I was on Quote V. I was on Quote V. I was on Wattpad writing about Jaden Smith. Girl, I was doing it, okay? Reading fucking fan fiction about Jaden Smith and mindless behavior in class. Like, I would download it, because you could download stories from Wattpad on your phone, and so I would download it and like just read it throughout class. Literally. But anyway, so because I was so in love with Jaden Smith, I would listen to his music. And I remember this was when Chasing Summer, his EP or his mixtape Chasing Summer came out. No, it wasn't called Chasing Summer. It was called The Cool Cafe Volume 2. I think that's what it was called. If you are a niche, if you love Jaden Smith as much as I love Jaden Smith, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, where he had a Starry Room, the Marvin's Room cover, where he had, oh, I forgot what that other cover was. It was the Boyfriend cover, the Justin Bieber cover, but Jaden Smith's version was better, and his Starry Room version was better. Oh, I love Jaden Smith, right? So I was telling him, like, we were talking about music, and I was like, oh, I love Jaden Smith. And he was like, Jaden Smith, like the Karate Kid? And I was like, he is better than that. Like, don't you dare disrespect him. And so I was like, let me put you on some music. So I turned on Jaden Smith, And he was like, okay, I actually like really fuck with this. And I was like, yeah, even still to this day, I love that. I love that mixtape. I wish Jaden Smith would put that mixtape on Apple Music because it's such a good mixtape, honestly and truly. So I remember that so vividly. We were like playing it, and I remember he had kissed me, and like there was this one part in the song in Starry Room where Jaden Smith was like, is it too much? Tell me if it's too much. And I remember Peter, I keep wanting to say this man's real name. I remember Peter was like, is it too much? And I was like, no. You know? But like it was just a cute little thing, right? So we're sitting in my driveway, we're just like waiting, talking, all that, listening, like Jaden Smith playing in the background. And I see my dog run off. And I'm like, where is he going? And like I wasn't freaking out because like, you know, he knows to stay close, but I see him running towards the door. And I'm like, And then I'm sorry. And then I hear my name. And I look up and I see my grandma.
Oh no, this can't be.
And I'm like, oh fuck. But at the same time, I'm not tripping because it's my grandma. And at this time, my grandma used to like not tell my mom when I would do shit. She now, oh, I cannot tell my grandma a good goddamn thing. I can't tell her shit. There are times, I'm a grown ass woman. I'm about to be 27 years old. I tell my grandmama something, I'd be like, do not tell my mom. Because it won't even be about nothing. It'll be like fucking relationship problems or some shit. And I just want to call up my grandma and vent to her. Why, next thing you know, I have a fucking lunch with my mama and she talked to me about some business I told my grandmama 2 weeks ago and told my grandmama not to tell my mama about. That's why I don't tell her shit no more. I replaced her with my daddy. I'd be calling my daddy and be like, hey, don't tell my mama. He'd be like, I don't even speak to your mama. Why would I tell your mama? I'd be like, all right, cool. Like, I can't even, my grandma would be telling all my business to my mama now because, and I feel like it's because of this fucking situation. But it's like, because she built up this mentality like, it's your mama, she needs to know. And it's like, okay, I get it when I'm under 18 or like when I'm still like in college and she's paying for my shit and da-da-da. But like, I am grown. Lady, I am grown. I have not asked my mama for a red since, unless it has something to do with my car. Like, let me relax. Let me calm down. But anyway, so I hear my grandma. And she says my name, and I look up, and I'm like, and she's in her muumuu with her bonnet on, looking crazy as ever. And I'm like, fuck, oh fuck. And so I'm like, hey, blah blah blah, because I don't call her grandma. I call her by her first name. I was like, what you doing out of bed? She was like, I could say the same thing about you. What you doing out here? And I was like, this is Peter. And like Peter's already standing up, and he was like, hi ma'am, I'm Peter. And I'm like, and I was like, and you know, I'm just stuttering, and she was like, yeah, so when's Peter going home? And I was like, his dad's on his way. And she was like, okay, well, come see me in my room when his daddy get here. And I was like, okay. So she was like, you know, it's nice meeting you, Peter. And he was like, yeah, it's nice meeting you too. And so like my grandma go back in the house, and he was like, so that's so-and-so. Because like literally everyone who knows me does not call my grandma by, like, does not say like your grandma or whatever. They literally call her by her first name because that's what I call her. And it's not like, very short story, is not disrespect. Like when I was younger, my mom was a teen mom. My mom had me at 18, and so I literally grew up in my grandma's house. Like when I lived with her up until I was like, I think 3 or 4 years old. And so obviously I'm learning how to speak during that time, and I hear everybody in my household calling my mom by her first name and calling my grandma mama. So I was calling my grandma mom. I was one of them kids. I was calling my grandma mama. And I remember my grandma was like, I'm not sure, mom, so-and-so is your mom. Like, say my mom's first name. And I was like, oh, she's mama? She was like, yeah, that's your mama. And I was like, okay, so then who are you? And she's like, I'm your grandma. I'm so-and-so. And she said her first name. And I was like, so-and-so? And she was like, yeah. And I say it like, kind of like a nickname of her name because of like, I wasn't like fully able to form the speech yet to say her name. And so ever since then, I've called her that. And like literally everybody who knows me, everybody that's in my life, like all my friends, my significant others, they all call her by her first name, but like the nickname version that I call her. But anyway, I think it's just like so cute whenever like I hear people, like when I really think about it, when I hear people that I know call my grandma that, because I'm just like, oh, like, you know. But anyway, so he was like, so that was so-and-so. And I'm like, that was her, yeah. And so he leaves and I go upstairs and I go to my grandmama room and I sit down on the other bed in her room and I was like, so, and she was like, so, don't do that again. And I was like, okay. And she's like, do you know how dangerous that could be? And I was like, yeah, I didn't know how dangerous it could be. I know now, but like obviously as a kid, I'm not really thinking that deeply into it. I mean, I thought deeply enough to bring my dog with me, but not like for real, for real. And so she was like, I'm not gonna tell your mom this time, but don't do it again. And so I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. She's not gonna tell my mama. Oh, yes. Yes. She's not gonna tell my mama. She was like, but if you do it again, I'm gonna tell your mama. Tell me why I called that lady bluff and I invited that boy over again. Y'all, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. So a month goes by. I'm like, yeah, we just need to lay low for right now. So like you can come in like a month or whatever. Why is her location off? What is wrong with her? Sorry. So I'm like, yeah, you can come again. Just like give it a little bit of time. Let's lay low for right now because I know she's going to be on high alert. So let's give it a little bit of time. He's like, okay. So a month goes by and he was like, you know, am I able to come over again? Or like, do we need to get more time? And I was like, yeah, you can come over again. So he comes over again and we do like a regular thing. I have my dog with me. We're like walking to the park, walking around my neighborhood, talking, da da da. And he was like, oh, my dad's on his way back. And I was like, okay, cool. And so like he was like, yeah, no, my dad is like actually in the truck driving back. And I was like, okay, let's like meet him up at my house, right? So we're walking up to the house and I see my grandmama standing outside waiting for me in her muumuu and her bonnet. And I'm like, fuck. Okay. Okay. So I'm like, but she's not gonna tell. She's not gonna tell. She didn't tell last time. Like, she's not gonna tell. And she's just looking at me like this. You know how grandmama stand like. And so I'm like, she's not gonna tell. Y'all, this lady told.
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
She did, in fact, tell my mother. And I remember I was shitty. My mom texted me and she was like, hey, I need to speak to you real quick. And I was like, okay. Literally not even thinking about what just happened, right? Because it was like a few days later. So I go down to my mama room and I'm like, yeah, what's up? And she was like, so I heard you've been sneaking out.
No,
And I'm like, huh? I'm like, huh? She was like, yeah, I heard you been sneaking out. That's what mama told me. And I was like, I mean, and she was like, where did you meet him? And I said, I met him on Facebook. And she was like, that could have been a grown-ass man trying to lure you out there and da-da-da. And like, she was 100% right. But in my defense, there is no defense. But like, in my defense, you know, just a little bit of defense. Did not expect him to be a grown-ass man. Number one, because there were people that I went to school with that knew him. Like when I told them, because like we were in a relationship. So like when I told them like, oh yeah, like me and Peter were like together or, you know, blah, blah, blah. And like, they were like, oh yeah, like I see you and Peter like talking about each other on Facebook and like, you know, mentioning each other on Facebook, da, 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 like y'all are so cute, da, da, da. They were like, you know, I went to elementary school with him, or like he lives in my neighborhood, because my middle school was a district-wide middle school. So like there were people that were like zoned to his school, to like his middle school, but like decided to go to mine and like was accepted to go to mine because mine was like a middle school of choice or whatever. So like they basically pulled your name out of a lottery if you applied to go there, and then if they pulled your name out of the hat, then you could go there. And so and so there were plenty of people who lived in his neighborhood and like were even his like neighbors and shit, and you know, grew up with him and shit, so they all knew him, and they were like, yeah, no, like I know him, like he's cool as fuck, like you know, like he's a better guy than like most of the guys around here, because like niggas ain't never been shit. Okay, let's be so honest, niggas ain't never been shit, ain't never been shit, is not shit, ain't never gonna be shit. Okay, I'm just playing. Not really, but like so they're like he's a really good guy, he's really sweet, like he's always been like a real sweetheart, like even back in elementary school and da da da. And then on top of that, another added layer of like in my defense is that there were grown-ass men trying to like talk to me on Facebook. And the reason why I knew they were grown-ass men is because they would do it with their own face. Like it would be actually them in 4K on their fucking pictures telling me like, you know, asking me how old I am, and I'm like, oh, I'm 14, or I'm 13, or I'm like, you know, 15, whatever the fuck. And they're telling me that they're like 23, 24, and I just be like, ew, like why are you in my messages? Why are you talking to me? And like they have like fucking pictures of their BM and their kids and shit trying to talk to me, and I literally would like block them. I'd be like, bro, you're a fucking weirdo. Like I'm a child, leave me alone. I am a child. And so that was like my thing of like well, I mean, I know not to go talk to a grown-ass man. That's why I be blocking all these grown-ass men trying to get with me or whatever. And but like there is no excuse. Like it could have been somebody catfishing, somebody just know like, oh, this little boy knows all these people in this school or whatever, or like he knows all these people in this, all these kids in this district, let me add all these kids, and then like, you know, catfishing him. Like it could have been some shit like that, but like in my mind I'm not thinking that. Like I'm a fucking child, like. And so my mom, she gave me an earful, a fucking earful, as she should. And at this point, my mom did not whoop me. Like she stopped whooping me in the 5th grade. So she had to be a little bit more creative with her punishments. And so what was her creative punishment? Not only did she confiscate my phone. Actually, no, she didn't confiscate my phone. My dad took my phone when I went to see him for the summer because we'll get there. She didn't confiscate my phone. She turned my phone off. And we didn't have Wi-Fi at our house because my mom wanted to be able to monitor what I was doing. So she didn't want me to be able to take the laptop into my bedroom or something. And so it like we had a broadband, and so it literally had to be hooked up to the Ethernet to be able to work with the internet. And so when she turned my phone off, I literally had no connection to the outside world except on Facebook on my laptop. And I had to tell him like, yeah, my mom turned my phone off. Like I can't text you anymore. And when I got to my dad's house, my dad had Wi-Fi, and I snuck my phone to his house, and he caught me one time and snatched it up and took the battery out, hid it in a different place than where he hid my phone. My daddy was OD. Like, relax. Oh my, I can't even meet up with nobody. Like I'm here in Indiana. Like the only people I know is homegirl's daughter and homegirl's daughter's friends and my fucking cousins. Like I don't know any boys here. And like besides, I didn't even have any crush on any boys there. I had a crush on a girl, but like not a boy. So it was just like, bro, you be an OD. But he really wasn't, because I snuck out. So, you know, that was on me. But anyway, I remember, thankfully this was like around the time where Kik was a big thing. Kik was like just starting to get in. So thankfully I didn't necessarily need a phone to text people. Like I didn't necessarily need a phone number to be able to text people. First of all, I had downloaded Kik on my grandma's phone, and like my grandma, she was not strict with like she did not go along with my mom's punishment. After a while, like, she was just like, you learned your lesson, like, you know. So she would let me use her phone to like talk on the phone with people and like use Kick to like, you know, do all of that, right? And my mom had my phone off for an entire year. Yeah, almost a whole year. It wasn't until like the following New Year's Eve, and this happened like I think in March or some shit. It wasn't until the following New Year's that my mom bought me a phone and turned it back on. Yeah. And like I remember I got sneaky because I wanted to I wanted to have connection with the outside world. Like I didn't want to go home and then like not be able to talk to anybody for like the rest of, unless I talked to them on Facebook. And like Facebook was slowly dying around this time, and like Kik and Instagram and Snapchat were starting to get more popular. And so I found a way to like niggerid the computer to where I had like it like basically was a phone on the laptop, and like I could access Instagram on that phone and like post pictures on that phone, on that virtual phone. And then I was able to Kik people. I was able to download Kik on that virtual phone on the laptop and like still be able to like message people when I got home and shit, and like still be hip and cool and not have to like tell people like, oh, message me on Facebook, the app that nobody got on anymore. So yeah, that's the story. That is a story. Me and Peter, we broke up because of all of that. Like he was just like, okay, maybe like we shouldn't be together and da da da. And I was like, no, my short king, no. I'm just playing. There is no such thing as a short king, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Because first of all, there's no such thing as a king, but a short king, oh bitch, don't even get me started. But anyway, so that is the story time. That's the story time about the time I got caught sneaking out. It's very embarrassing, very funny. And I was stupid as fuck for doing that. I was very fucking stupid. I should not have pushed my luck. I should not have called my grandma on her bluff. But yeah, so I hope you liked this story. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and comment down below what you think about this video. And please subscribe. Please make sure to subscribe. Please, please, please. Also, I wanted to say thank y'all so much for all the support, all the growth on this channel. Thank y'all. I really greatly appreciate it. Thank y'all. I cannot wait to see us continue to grow here. Wow. Thank y'all. But anyway, I will talk to y'all next time. Peace.
Nothing, baby, put it on me. We could hustle this together.